All right.
Even if it's the middle of the winter, if you own chickens, you gotta go out and take care of them.
Go into the chickens. So this is a typical coop, what it would look like, at least in this setup. So what I usually do is I'll come in and I'll collect, they are laying eggs.
Hey, look
now.
at that.
Yeah,
50 bucks right there.
So we have our elder, she's like 7.
Does she still lay eggs, you think?
No, chickens will lay eggs about the first 3 years, maybe 3-4 years.
Interesting.
If they're kept well, they're treated well. But they'll live to be up to 8. So
Okay.
we have chosen to treat our chickens like pets, so we keep them throughout their natural lives.
We do not eat our chickens. What are they standing on here? What is this?
Oh, yeah, so that's their feeder.
Okay.
This is a mouse-proof feeder.
Okay.
So perfect for anywhere in your coop. But this feeder probably costs maybe, I don't know, $90 or something like that. So,
oh, I see. So they jump on that plate and it pops open and that's how they get their food
yes,
out.
exactly, yeah. So
that-
down here,
Oh,
and
there
it
you go.
opens up the lid. And so one thing that I need to do is check all the time is, what's the food level? And so I do fill that probably once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah, we need, so then you need to have to have a tin can like this because otherwise rodents are going to get in your food.
All right.
So
that's where we're keeping the food.
Neighbors are going to be really upset with you. So,
I would imagine.
so we keep it in here in this bag of.
That's a big bag.
Yeah, the food comes. I think it's probably.
We have our Lucky Chimes. Don't mind those.
Yeah, $25 a bag.
25 bucks a bag.
I think, and we probably get that maybe once a month.
Okay.
So we're feeding them. That's probably about the cost of feed.
All right.
We do let them go in the yard when they can actually get to the ground and they want to go out. So they do eat some stuff out of the ground.
And they enjoy the scrounging and all that.
Yep. Yeah. So
right.
you can offset some of your food costs by having them free range, and then you can also give them chicken or kitchen scraps to offset some of that food cost too. But they really need kind of a balanced diet.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I've noticed when the chickens do go outside the coop and kind of run around, how do you keep the poop from not getting in the rest of the yard? And how does the poop, is it like a litter box?
No.
It's not like a litter box.
If you have a garden, because they're going to go in the garden, they're going to scratch it up, they're going to, tear out your garden. Yeah, they're going to, eat your tomatoes, they're going to eat your beans, they'll eat it all. Sure. So what we do is usually only let them out into the yard before the garden is planted or after the garden has been harvested, just to keep them out. So it's not really, I'd rather have them out all the time, but depends on how you have your garden set up.
Sure.
You could put fences around it or whatever, but
all right. And we have fences around the chickens too, to some degree, right?
Yes, so that would be our outdoor coop area.
What are predators that can eat the chickens that you have to worry about?
Hawks, for sure. We haven't had that issue because we have a lot of tree coverage.
Okay.
But even here in the suburbs, we have friends who have backyard chickens that they have had the hawks go after their chickens.
Okay. We have dogs too. I think the dogs help with like raccoons too, right? Raccoons sometimes or
will go after chickens?
Yeah, or coyotes if you have coyotes in your part of the country.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. We have a fully fenced yard. The eggs are just a nice bonus. You don't do it for the eggs.
Don't do it for the eggs. That should be the headline because
right.
I'm getting a lot of people at work saying I should get chickens because I want cheap eggs, and it seems like there's some expenses even though we don't always keep everything up as well. Like there's this white thing over here that's for water, I assume.
Yeah, that's a water bucket and that plugs in. So that's our winter water bucket. In the summer we don't need to have the electric water bucket because you have to so a little bit of electricity costs.
Oh, speaking of the black panel over here, that's the heater, right? That thing
yes. Yep.
I don't know if I can get a good look at that.
Yeah, so you want to plug that in too because when it gets probably below, for us, we've chosen to go with about 15 degrees. Or maybe with this group, maybe about 10 because they have small combs.
Okay. Yeah, the combs those are what the frostbite is.
Yes, and the feet. But they're pretty good at cold temperatures, but they do get frostbite. And obviously, it's just a comfort, You don't want to torture your birds. Most of it balance out over time. So the longer you have them, the more cost effective it's going to be because this has been the same coop, the greenhouse, we've had since the beginning, and this costs like $600.
The greenhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been a little cheaper, but yeah, something like that.
But that's your setup costs, and so the longer you have it, you know, the cheaper it's going to get.
And you can buy coops if you don't want to do something crazy like we did with the greenhouse. We're pretty unique in that.
Yeah.
How much, like you can buy the coops where you buy the feed and stuff, right? Like if you went to like a chicken supply place that sells
for sure. You can get them online. There's a lot of groups, or some Facebook groups of chicken owners that you can, you know, people get into it and then they get out of it and they want to sell everything.
That's a good tip.
So I would say probably buy used.
Okay. Buy used.
Yeah, buy used.
Good. But if they did just have to pick one up, what are they, like a few $100 or something?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
you know, we did a lot of other stuff. So that's a cost. The food is a cost.
Sure.
If there's any kind of medical issue, that's a cost. You can. I've taken chicken to the vet twice.
Really?
Yep. And,
all right.
And I think
that might surprise some people.
So vet visit, you know, they do discount for chickens. I think I was paying like $40 a visit. Okay. But then you have any kind of medicine if they prescribe antibiotics or whatever. Then, you know, there's things that come up where you can treat at home, you can treat with herbs, you can treat with over the counter.
That sounds like it takes some time.
It takes time, and it also costs money to, you know, go and buy the medicine. They're almost like cats. They'll take care of themselves to an extent.
Make sure they have enough food, water,
right,
a place to live that's safe.
You really need to check. You should check in on their welfare at least once a day, right?
Sure.
And you know, you have to gather the eggs because they might get old or they might step on them and break them. They mainly poop in like real specific areas because that's where they sleep. And so when they're roosting on the bars, then they'll poop directly below them, but then that's kind of about it. That's where it stays. So it's kind of nice that way. But one more cost. This is our choice. Is that we put down pine shavings.
Oh yeah.
And they're pretty well shaven, because if they're like the bigger chunks, those could actually cut their feet and then they could get a foot infection.
Okay.
But that could be a cost too. And again, that's just a choice of how you set your coop up.
Well, we tend to pay for these little nesting pad things too, right?
Yes, that is true. I don't think I have any left. But yeah, these nesting pads.
Time to get back to the store. We go to like what your Fleet Farms will have them, and there's a local co-op place that sells chicken stuff, and
you can buy toys for chickens to keep, you know, because boredom can be an issue. I mean, you know, they're smart animals, so and they're trainable, so you can have fun with them that way, I guess.
Nice.
Thank you, girls.
Good seeing you, ladies.
See you later.
All right, so that is our coop setup.
Yeah.
I can paraphrase and you tell me if this is close.
Yeah.
Chickens are great.
Yes.
They do lay eggs.
Yes.
But they're not free, and if you're not paying for the eggs, you're paying for the coop, for the water, for the electricity, for the heater, for the pretty much all the stuff you'd pay if you had a pet.
It's investment costs. So if you keep them for a long time, years and years, then you could potentially maybe start to get cheaper eggs.
Right.
Some year.
And at certain times of year, we do get more eggs than we need, which is nice. And then